Came to this property with 3 animals, now we have 27. Let's talk about them. So especially as a homesteader, you always have animals that you have for purpose, and maybe some of them you have for pets. Our goal ever since we've moved out here is that any animal that we are now adding to our land for our homestead was definitely going to be made to have a purpose. We want to make sure that we are getting not even just the most bang for your buck so that you make sure your money's well spent, but we just want to make sure that everything coexists and everything has a reason to be on here. A lot of you guys have pets and a lot of you guys love that unconditional love that a pet can give, but the main reason that we really wanted to start having a lot of animals here was that each animal was going to give purpose and each animal was going to have that reason and going to help give back to us as we give to them. So our newest addition here to our homestead, actually, our rooster, which you can kind of see right there, Caesar. He just did a little fluff. He doesn't like when I recognize him. A rooster on your homestead has a whole bunch of purposes that you really want, and they actually will really benefit your flock if you can have them around. I know that a lot of people, sometimes in your certain areas, you're not allowed to have a rooster, so that sucks. But here's why a rooster is important and why we wanted to make sure that we had one back for our flock again. The first reason why the rooster is really important and the purpose of him is to help protect the rest of the flock. And a rooster has many ways of doing that. Most important, what they're gonna do is that if anything comes in here, a rooster will fight it off, trying to protect their hens. But another thing a rooster does is that if a rooster senses anything or sees a hawk flying above, we'll call out, we'll crow, and we'll make sure that everyone gets to a safe spot and to hide under something to try to help protect them as well. Protection was definitely one of the main reasons why we wanted them here. The second purpose of your rooster here on your flock is that so one of these isn't just yolk. We have our rooster so that if eventually we ever wanted to try to hatch out our own chickens or produce our own chickens and not have to rely on going to a store if they were gonna have them in stock, and just wanting to kind of give us more self-reliance. And that guy right there, kind of see him hidden in there a little bit. He's mixed with Silky so that he can help mate with the hens. Just give us that option. Like I said, you never know. This is something that we definitely wanted him for. We wanted to be able so that for some reason we wanted to hatch out our own chicken or just have that option too. And now for the 14 laying hens we have. Obviously, their main purpose, eggs for us. Making sure that we have eggs for our family, but it takes 2 to tango, right? So although that the rooster is able to mate so that we can have our own chickens, we do need a hen for that as well, and then we also need usually a broody hen so that if we don't want to use an incubator, to sit on those eggs for about 20 to 30 days and help hatch out those chicks, which takes a lot of effort too. So laying hens, obviously, like I said, on our property, eggs are going to be the main purpose. They're going to help serve in the mating process and help hatching out our own chicks. And one more thing, but let's put both the chickens in this category, roosters and hens, for this. I forgot, if you guys just saw our video, we just had a hen that laid outside of the coop area. And I say outside the coop area because I'm used to laying outside the nesting box because there's a secret spot that they lay inside the coop. Let's go get those eggs. That's a lot of eggs. Another thing that they'll be able to do for us is, now that we have 14 laying hens, we had 9 beforehand, but we just got the 5 that we added probably about 4 months ago or whatever it is, so they've been starting to lay. So we get a lot of eggs each day, so they're gonna help produce an income because we're gonna start selling off some of these eggs, because getting about a dozen eggs a day, that's a lot of eggs. So luckily we're able to sell them to people, and that's gonna help bring in income for us. And another purpose the chickens have for us, all 15 of them, is they all help give us fertilizer. How that's gonna happen is that what we're gonna do is that every time we clean out the coop, all that straw, wood chips, whatever we use for it, and their poop is gonna go right into our compost bin, and all that's gonna help build our compost and make it stronger. Because chicken poop can't go right into the garden, putting it into the compost bin gives it enough time to build up, and then we'll be able to put it into our garden the following year. Another thing that we do is our compost bin is located inside the chicken run, so that every time we clean out the coop, it's easy just to bring it all right to the compost bin, dump it in, and then anytime that we have anything to compost, we throw it right into that bin, and then our chickens get to jump into the compost bin, scratch around, pick and choose what they want, and it works out much easier for us. We don't really have to go around and try to flip the compost bin too often because the chickens are always in there scratching around doing the work for us. So help providing compost is definitely a big purpose these chickens do for us. And that's how the chickens are going to be helping with our compost. All right, the next 9 animals that we're going to talk about on the homestead, more chickens. So these are our Cornish cross chickens. So different from a rooster, different from our laying hens. This is a mixture of hens and roosters. I'm sure most people are aware of, but if you're not, the Cornish cross chicken breed is a breed really only meant so that you could help raise your own meat. So the Cornish cross, like I said, everyone really knows them for meat, and that is exactly what we're doing for them. We've had them now for about 4 to about 5 weeks, and they get to mature size around 8 weeks. And then when they start getting around after 8 weeks, they could start having some health problems because the breed is meant to raise for meat. The Cornish cross, they grow really quick, and that's the reason why everyone likes to raise them, is that you only need to have them for 8 weeks, and then you're able to process them and raise them and put them into your freezer. So that's definitely a big purpose of why we have these guys, and it's really the one reason why we really wanted them. But another purpose they give you, you can pull them along the grass, and you can kind of see, if you look all the way in the back, you can start seeing these spots as you go all the way. And we've been pulling them along once a day. And what that does is they're able to get fresh new pasture, but that's gonna actually fertilize your soil as you pull them along each time. It kind of gives you 2 purposes. So the main purpose, obviously meat, but their second purpose they're given to us is they're help fertilizing our soil, and they're gonna help it just improve that land a little bit more for each spot they go. Have a good snack. And now time to talk about the 2 dogs that we have here on our property. So for you guys who know, we have 2 dogs that we purchased. Bailey, our Wheaten Terrier, we got about 5 years ago, and she was definitely purchased as a pet. She has done that purpose very well for us. She was definitely more just have around, not really having any main purpose other than to show us love. And that is always a good purpose, so you can't be mad about that one. But our other dog, our Great Pyrenees Milo, who you guys have met and we have plenty of videos about if you ever want to go back and watch any. He's our livestock guardian dog, and we have not been able to use him as a livestock guardian dog that stays outdoors all the time. He is an indoor-outdoor dog. But his purpose though, we knew that when we moved out here, he was going to be a protector. And whether that meant protecting just us or protecting our property, protecting any animals that we may get, we knew that we were going to get, as we've gotten chickens so far. Pigs, they're coming, I promise. And he's definitely done that job well. Obviously at nighttime, that protecting instinct, the ears really start going for him. He barks really loud inside the house. And actually there's been a few nights now that he'll stay outside on our deck and won't want to come in, and he'll actually spend the night outside protecting anything that's out here, barking at anything. And we do want to make sure though that he understands of why he's doing that. I think that he's slowly understanding that that is what he wants to do. He hasn't come out here a lot, and we do make sure that since he doesn't necessarily have a shelter to go to if it was to start raining, that we're not going to leave him outside if it was raining. But if there's no rain in the forecast and he decides that he doesn't want to get up, definitely keep him outside so he can be a protector for us. We love that he wants to do that. Let me get back to Bailey here real quick though, as though Bailey was bought as a pet for us 5 years ago before we were thinking about even homesteading or anything like that. Say hi to all the chickens, everyone. Hi, chickens. We'll let them be. Here's what I was talking about. So now what they're gonna do is scratch in that compost bin for us and kind of mix it all in and make really good compost. And like I said, we don't gotta do it, so positive. But Bailey, our Wheaten Terrier, has really become a big protector dog, and she loves being here on the farm and working out. And here she comes running around, and she'll come right to this fence line, right where the chickens are, just like this, and sniff out anything that's in there, and she will bark it down. She is a big protector at all times when she is out here. I think she actually does a little better job than our Great Pyrenees Milo does, but don't tell my wife that. You guys have a pretty good understanding now of all the animals that we have on our property, so let me explain the last one to you guys. And Lola's definitely our house cat. There's no way around it. She's definitely more of a pet than any of the animals that we own here on our property. As much as Chelsea would love her to be a barn cat, we don't have a barn, so that's why I do this, and be outside and kind of help any of the rodent population or anything like that. She has actually snatched one mouse inside the house and gets a lot of insects, so she has a little bit of purpose. on the homestead here, but she's definitely more of a pet than any of the animals we have, so no need to get too much into Lola, although she is my baby. Nothing more to say. She's our cat, house cat, and she's definitely a pet. So there you have it, our 27 animals that we have here on our homestead, and just explaining to you guys what they all do for us and what they all mean for us, whether they have a big purpose or whether they're for a pet, whether they're for love. All those things aside, as you can see, every animal has something to give. And really, the more they give to you means the more that you're giving to them. And always remember that, is that make sure that you put all the effort that you can into them, because the more that you put into them, trying to figure out what they really need, what's their needs compared to the general need of a chicken or general need of a dog. I mean, a lot of people like to just think, well, online it says this chicken gets this much. But really, just like with us humans, every chicken, every animal has a different kind of personality, has different kind of needs. Make sure you always take into account what they really need and remember to love them. So I hope this was useful for somebody out there. You guys have a great day and a better tomorrow, and of course, we'll see you in the next vlog as always.